Abusia TV. Enyansafo nko anehwe.
Tentama mama ye mamu nyina akwaba na yemfa momra Abusua 1 TV so Abusua 1 TV no agye se enyansafo nko a na ehwe. The take bit time na so. Yemfa mre mo tentem so kra. Me say won subscribe ya subscribe na share na like na fo adwenche fato mame. Me da ase pa. E ka me akwese Russia guy no. Dwedi obedi na Africa ntitu Kenya ne Ghana no emewiye. Ensem bebre na ekoso. Yewra Sam Nati George e de atodwa se kwanya ombefa so bia no mo nsa beka no bia ombefa so na omotu anamo ewo hono saa enso na me ka se mampanyi John Dramani mama de nsem bi de abetodwa se ebe kakra nya de yebetwa timba ye de akonkrofo aman so yebetu gold ne ye de ne saa de akọ kuku saa ne ye de akọ e time aso a ye be na afi ya ye nsacha ye wo mu na ya dan dan ni ani ya de ayi enuma ewo hanom. The Russian guy ese wo twitwi ladies no ne ade eno so ye beko so fu bi de nsem bi de atodwa e de afa ho abusua kokko won nsem no sanye Ghana nko do ani kire mu Ivory Coast a enye asem keto akra e na ekoso e wo Ivory Coast a won mu kokko akadem o mu nya atofo a e pro e wo e hono na enam so ma minority de nsem bi atodwa se wiki ebe yizire se e wo parliament a yira fanyo markets e de this answer me e di tudwa ententem so a me so subscribe na share na like yini tumika na yenkore the rush mampanyi John Dramani mama ne nsem a wodi ka de atodwa no e de afa raw materials a ye de nyina akọ amano ne saa no ene break akra ni acha 2030 e kwan o manyi befa so na ye ne ayada ye de enim yenko ne yenko hwemra.
We're going to stop foreign funding for the purchase of our cocoa. We are going to raise domestic bonds. We have enough CDs in Ghana to pay for our cocoa. We're going to raise domestic bonds, buy our own cocoa. We don't need to collateralize the beans. I know the interesting part. We have the capacity to process 400,000 tons of those beans, processing capacity in Ghana. But because the beans are collateralized, we cannot even allocate those beans to the local processors. We have to ship all the beans outside. Now, if we buy the beans ourselves, we can take 400,000 tons out of the beans and give to our local processors to add value. That is what the Accra research is about. I say by 2030, there are not going to be any raw mineral ores leaving Ghana. You're not going to ship manganese ores out of Ghana raw. You're not going to ship bauxite ore out of Ghana raw. You're not going to ship iron ore out of Ghana raw. You must process all that locally. That is the only way we can provide opportunities for our young people. Our young people are not as patient as our generation. They want to see that progress and prosperity today. And that is why Accra Research has that urgency that we need to implement in order that we stop our young people from braving the dangers of the Sahara and the Mediterranean to try to get to Europe to look for opportunity. Africa's prosperity is not a threat to anybody in this world. Africa's prosperity will consolidate.
John Dramani Mahama ena yaptene nka ewo ehono no yenko na ntempana yenko tie the minority no eka Alexander Afinyo Markins was free neko parliament beyire ombe force aban na mesike was ode medum kuma no efa koku hu no wode ama wo
the wiki minority for parliament beye putu Cocoa farmers on Musika no ombetu. We no so MP before Asia was colleagues, they will try and divide us and come with all manner of arrest. Every now and then, when their back is against the wall, they will come out with arrest. Please, we are politicians, they are chua and your body. Yenja Pintin, Dr. Baumieti. And win power 2028. Don't let them intimidate you with arrest. Now, the third reading.
Alexander Afinyo Markins. And I call ye quoting in Ghana. Esre, and one wouldn't want to ask it. But this is how our politics is. Sana BBA no NDC DNP PT2. But in Jamaica, na yenko Ivory Coast. Then correct the current situation e Ivory Coast wo mu cocoa ho nsem. Wo mu de e pro, wo mu nya to for because of the current price the world market.
Bearable wait. For 2 months, not a single kilo of cocoa produced by farmers of this cooperative here in Agbonville has been sold.
The cocoa is still stored there.
But we have problems. My child's in hospital, so we really need to be paid. The children haven't been to school either.
You're right, calm down. The problems will be resolved soon.
This is a problem affecting the whole of the Ivory Coast. It's the world's top cocoa producer, and a quarter of the population relies on the industry for their livelihood. The government has promised to buy back the cocoa from cooperatives. The cost of this delay, however, is already being felt.
There's a risk of mold, so we have to take the cocoa out each time, dry it, and then put it back in the bags to be pelletized again. That costs even more money. There's also the risk of theft. We were victims of theft in November. We lost a lot of cocoa.
100 tons of cocoa are being stored in this particular warehouse awaiting sale. This is only a third of what is produced here in this area by farmers. Some have sold off their stock at bargain prices outside of legal channels, while others watch their produce rot away.
All of this is just wasted cocoa pods that we're going to throw away. Because of a lack of money, we couldn't pay for the labor nor for the cleaning products.
Behind this crisis is a problem with money. While the price per kilo was set at a record amount of 2,800 CFA, the price of cocoa fell on the international market, leaving the government cash-strapped and unable to pay.
The Coffee and Cocoa Council, instead of selling cocoa to multinationals with resources, chose to sell all the volume to domestic producers for their own economic benefit. But those to whom they sold this cocoa don't have the financial means to buy it.
Subscribe, share, and like. Now, you're going the Russian guy. Kenya for the Ghana for man, and Yankore, Bema Pa, any Sisi, any idea be a send any message, maybe what the Abedis and was some Ghana. Let's go and watch it.
Kilomocha kubetanga basana kwa ufala wa kutwa yandu menyu ujinga funguza kanota ngasi we mwaki pakainya kune wese wendia
na sufi akasa sufi akasa sufi we were very powerful Ghana the whole say how si faso na sorry e preachy what is it to that.
The Cybersecurity Authority is one of the agencies under my ministry, and I'm sure leading up to the Christmas, you guys saw the clampdown we did on cybercrime and fraud and all of that. Part of what we do is also to deal with sextortion and child online protection. In this instance, I'm sure you're referencing the Russian gentleman who came into the country. Yesterday, I caused the ministry to send an invitation to the Russian ambassador. I intend to see him this week and have a conversation with him. We're taking a very strong view of it. The individuals involved are not minors. None of them is a minor. They're grown-up adults who made decisions. What the Cybersecurity Authority is interested in, and my ministry is interested in, is not in the moral judgment of the individuals. It's in the non-consensual sharing of the videos that were posted online. That is a crime. It's not a crime to be able to convince a man or a woman to go into your room with you in 6 minutes. That's not a crime by the law. That's a personal decision to make. But it is a crime to record a person without their consent. And and even when you record and keep it on your phone, and the person finds out and reports to us, we will prosecute you and you go to jail. That's the law of the land. Now, you don't just record it, but you go and post it on a website for financial gain. that gentleman will be looked for. We will activate every resource in our disposal, working with Interpol. The way we've worked with Interpol to extradite Ghanaians to other jurisdictions, we will request the Russian authorities, and that's why I've invited a Russian ambassador, to work with our law enforcement. We want the gentleman to come to Ghana, to be brought back to Ghana, extradited to Ghana, for him to face the rigors of our law. Ghanaian citizens, irrespective of their decision making, will be protected by their government. The government of John Dramani Mahama will ensure that every citizen's rights are protected. And you cannot record a citizen without their consent and air that or post that online. That constitutes a crime under the Cyber Crime Offences Act, the Cyber Security Authority Act, CSA Act 1038 of Ghana, passed in 2020 by Parliament. So we will work on it. We're working on it. We'll be with my Lelu team at Cybersecurity is building a full docket. Whether we have the gentleman or not, I intend for us to file a full prosecution. We'll make a representation before the courts, try him in absentia, and get judgment if he fails to show up. But we will not let this go. I mean, my colleague Minister for Gender has issued a statement as well, because most of these victims were women. But we would pursue this to its legal conclusion and ensure that this never happens again. But once again, to our countrymen and women, we urge caution. We urge caution. I mean, we need to be minded about some of these things and careful. But on the legal parts, we will do our part. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
The Russian ni ba ko pe abet Ghana 2 weeks pe obari Ghana for 700 motia Ghana for yafu emi ya chese ni ya me say egu o man ani mu ase ti Ghana so for it means yam preach in commissionti na mehunu we nti no ni pe kuru so afom no broni cha make say how are you only just what how are you no na we di nachi I want to say you do obiachi. Ah? I want to say you do obiachi. Black place for Bobo, we should Ghana anymore. Na Ghana shower for so many in Masia. But say Ghana. It's a Ghana or Black Queens. Black Queens that you won't Mama Sati. I won't Mama Quati. Cheapest Black Queens. Only cheap. That's it. Are you who? Are you who? Who are you who say? I think 3 or 4 won't be. Young boy. Say one that you know. Woody, why is it? Say so on Quatia by you. One junior sharp couple, but what the phone? Bisana. Ni a friend about was a catesia. That's all man and Wakatan wide. Who share my meno? No, I'm not sharing street. No, I share the cabba. Not into one bosso. No, I'm in the basket. No, share so cold you more. We are branching up and master then cry. You just can't talk to her. Because who meet you, man, who said the spirit of marriage is for her. Na akatesi am say Ghana dey adana katapio and oba desi won yana fusu onyoba onyansi siachi onyoba wanyana wem onyoba to be share young girl na short skirt no more open the front open the back open the side adwamenti ni say yifim na ni say yefim na ni say yefim na ni say yefim wa ba rasta na bi ba kwa den sasa bonsam wa bonsam sasa no nam krom say ya we share no kitane bag. As I was in the swab, we may be mad. Say, yeah, I would have Mr. Sorry. I saw your copio, but have it on count. And until years, because if I feel with a cabin of my day, Saka can on count. Many are called. Few in yes, many know my Jimmy. Many know, I know my Jimmy. Many man and not Russia need by my arm or you woman. Many man at Jimmy. Opa Mukwacha Russia man. Mopa Mukwacha ne track records. Akwe was Zambia say Kenya. I saw them pa no ko you get any free. Say ya, special young girl say ya, ni mu ache ni. Na bag send ko ho no. Bag everything is issue. Toilet roll. Ne spare pint. Was say kita pantan condom. Nam no mo change shoemaker. If you do be mo timi yegba no ahead. E drama ni say pacha. Oni wo ye na ababra.
I don't say that. Yankore appear stadium. Any prophet to do. Yankomra sisia. Ezemo koso gado.
Appear stadium. Any prophet could feel drew. Mimia, me see. I am munga.
I the one you touch in your was in your touch first. El Bernard, any dear, old danche. Me a timia, papa na, ne tadia children are watching chimney. Chie, Kofi now what you duck, Kofi Drew. Yes, maybe see. Nyachuma, why you software, why not to be near party because chief of staff currently. But don't just make papa who fat until we better double. I dear why yet then you would be prophet yet as a fake prophet you wish to see what or see what you see what Papa no, no. What do see what take compare Kufudra. But genuinely pa kusi what Archbishop where you papa he that could put was papa ni muntie na bo wase we jare na obedwum tie o ka so tinchim san o kan sam o tuli payam tie na baku o tie ya tie ani par na afi asan kontumpo obi akosam komo na ye janu mi ammo ne ma ye mo na se ni ma wo nya odasi tia fa kamera ko ja so de ni be defend e true. Okay, I'm going to professor. I'm going to still. So for Amwakata, why we will crack. Shapa no or some one who one. Amwakwata. Hey, well, yes, smart to commission. Yami, she jam or what a da. We now. It's all. Amwakwata. One can grab back what of the Yami, she jam or what a da. And I mean, America, Yami, channel. Hey. Obeshan come na obushatwa na hoduro na ba wo yeso bi wo pi onu so say also obeja the microphone mic de na mia ma pia se de me ko akwaje mic ko de kuta na je mic ze na me dia pana pampem prophet opi what ka opi e twa se de ko pa wo ni onu so ya manda na mo tete say answer dem no Confirm them all, only say, oh, my is you. Nakayetiana, Yaba Aba Nano. Chap was on one, you say, so for to say. Yeah, Dr. Zibwat, I can't say Dr. Baunia, near, obey your percentage, say, I knew Korea, so can afford them, why am I? Bra, you know, Gusa, I saw for proof with them all. Almost a man is almost about what kind of know. It is a true, almost a check. Now, to be shared. Chese bane champo kura hwe na bo nya Roger so ka ho na Roger ne de se me di ka video dem say ma chi me one so turufo ejo abon we papa aka chi nyina hye nkomo ho on se ataje bi kura kan se me go ko chi opa go kura bem o sa papa bo da president Mahama ka o hye nkomo on se wa ko hye bo nkomo na tia fa ho a opa bo na onu nko hye bi ko bo ni wu ataje bi ko bo ni wu
and the edited me to the ladies. Yamamuna Quaba, Yadamasi, the Winya about to share. Name moon subscribe and patch subscribe, share, not like it, not for the church. I see. We did have the opinion. Oh, see a dream, you know, and